What's going on, guys? Cody Marchant, Poofnewsales.com. And today we're in 2020, guys. Basically, what I wanted to bring you today was a little bit different, right? About marketing, about content, sometimes advertising, sometimes SEO. But what I do in the day-to-day of my business more than anything is operations and sales. All about sales, guys. And, I wanted to start branching off a little bit, focusing on what I like to do and focusing on my strengths. My strengths are sales. My strengths are building processes. How do I put that together? Why don't I build a process for sales? I mean, pretty straightforward to me. But basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dive in and out. Basically, I'm gonna show you me talking to the camera. I'll dive into my script right here. Quick over the script. All right, thank you. Now back to me. Now back to the script. I'm just kidding. No Old Spice thing here. Basically, all this is I'm gonna be breaking down my initial notes on sales in general. I'm gonna be walking you through how I do sales, the philosophy behind it, the psychology more than anything behind it, and kind of some common objections, some script making stuff, and really just the whole basics of sales. So I'm not gonna get into anything specific. I'm basically just gonna do sales as a whole, and I might do either a course or just a series based on this, depending on if you guys enjoy this, if you guys get value. While you're here, before I jump in, can you just do me a favor and hit the like button down below and subscribe if you're not already? Let's get into the script. Number one, right? This script started off as just like notes I was going to give to my team before they had a sales call. And for myself, basically say this could be a cold call or this could be a initial phone call. So say you did some outreach in another way. Personally, for me, I'd like to get clients through Upwork sometimes. And what that means is they're already going to be in a situation where I sent them a message. They post a job, say they're looking for a content marketer. I went in, saw it, boom, sent a proposal. They were interested. They're like, damn, this kid, Cody, really knows what he's doing, has some great examples. He's done some great work and testimonials in this space. Let's see if this is a fit. And I say, let's get up on the phone, see what we can do. Now we're at that point. Things remember before the call, right? So let's just go down the list, and it's going to be like my little bit of personal jumbled order based on how my brain just dumped the information. And we'll kind of try to extract as much information as we can for you, give you as much value based on just where my head's at going into every call. Let's just do number one. Be proud of your offer, right? When it comes to sales, you really need to be proud of what you're offering. If you are selling something you don't believe in, you're not going to be good at sales. I remember my first job, my first real job, right? Because obviously my first job was I went into construction, and then I was a poker dealer. My first real job was in sales for Mass Mutual. I was like a financial planner, and I sold life insurance. And I'm pretty good at sales, but I did not do well at all. I struggled a lot at Mass Mutual, mostly to the fact that I just didn't believe in what I was selling, right? I like life insurance. I think it's a great idea. I have a lot of life insurance clients, but it's not something close to me where it's I didn't know it in and out. I didn't know how much it could benefit the people that I was selling to. And I felt like I was selling as opposed to now when I talk to clients, hey, client, look, you have this problem, right? And I can solve that problem for money. It doesn't matter to me if you work with me or not, but I would feel better if you did work for me because I know I can work with me because I can solve your problem. So you really need to be proud of what you're offering, really believe in what it is, and that's going to make a big difference. It's going to come through in your tone. You're going to really, kind of set the stage for a potential prospect. Number two, we want to talk to a decision maker. This is more my notes when I was doing cold calling because, you don't want to waste all this time going through your script, doing your thing, and then end up not even talking to somebody that can make a decision, and they transfer you again. You're like, damn, I just did all that work. All right, restart, start telling them about your value, how you can help them, whatever. And then they go, oh, you know what, I'm not interested, right? So you want to make sure you're talking to the decision maker, number one, to save time, but number two, because if you kill it, you do your damn job, you get that sale, you want them to be able to pull the trigger. If you look right here where it says a great question for this is, I really like this question, and I think that it frames it very well, where it's like, you don't offend the person you're talking to, and you put yourself in their shoes, where it's like, okay, real quick, you can get to a decision maker. Basically, you're gonna ask something like this. You're gonna say, this is me, right? I'll go, hey, whatever, right? We're in a conversation. I say, when I'm deciding on partnerships like this, I always like to talk to my business partner first. Is there anyone else for you that you'd want to hear the information to make the decision together? Or do you make all the decisions alone? Basically, what this is asking, right? So I'm putting myself in their situation saying, hey, look, I have a business partner. If you were selling me on this right now, I'd have to get my business partner involved. So you're giving them that option to be able to say, yeah, I also have a business partner. I need to get him involved in the situation. Or they're saying, you know what, I don't even get to make this decision. My boss makes that decision. So right away, you're able to find out very quick if he's a decision maker or not, or she. We're not sexist here. But you're going to get that decision very quick and be able to save time and just have an overall more efficient process without ever making them feel bad, where it's like, oh, you don't value my time because I'm not here to make your decision, right? Because a lot of times, if you've been in sales in a while, you know that the gatekeeper is the most important part of the sale. So don't make anyone feel like they're below you. Don't try to make anyone feel like you're trying to skip them. Treat everyone with respect, and they're often the person that you need to get in tight with in any ways to be able to get to the person you're trying to get to. Number 3, we want to get to the point people don't care about what the weather is. My favorite saying all time in sales, time kills deals. Whatever that means is this. The longer you are in the sales cycle, the longer you talk to somebody, the less likely you are to pull the trigger, right? Think about yourself if you're shopping online for something, right? If a good Facebook ad hits you, right? You say, wow, I could really use that back massager or that, whatever it is. You click it, you purchase it, whatever, it's on the way. But you click it, you read something about it, right? And then you go to another tab. You come back to it like 5 minutes later, see that tab still open, you look at it, and you say, that's cool, but I guess I can skip it, right? What just happened there was the fact that you let time get in the way. You're most likely to buy right away. As soon as you figure out, like, once you make the decision that you're going to buy it, boom, right away, you're good. Pull the trigger, get the sale, make sure you close. The worst thing that can happen is a client says this to you. Give me a few days to think about it. Please let me, discuss this with my business partner. I just need some time to think. Or, yeah, I'm more likely to be able to say yes in a week. No matter what you can do, whether it loses you money in the short term, like you got to give a discount, whatever it is, make sure you close it then and there. Do not let time kill a deal. And not even just that, don't go on and on in a phone call. Literally, get on the phone and say, hey, sir, I'm on the phone today to win your business. And basically what I want to be able to do by the end of this phone call is figure out what problems you're really having, if my solutions can fix those problems, and if I can win your business and we can fix those problems together. Straight up, they know what's going on. We're getting to the point just like that. Number 4, magic question time, right? What's a magic question? Well, before I give you the example of what a magic question is, let me try to frame this. Basically, a magic question is, I think it was from Neil Patel, where I heard this the first. He steals everything from everyone, so don't worry about it. I'm not trying to give him the credit. I'm just telling you where I heard it first. He calls it the magic question, I think, because he said, think of it like this. If I had a magic wand and I could do whatever for your business, what would that do for your business? You know what I mean? Like say you're a dentist and you could say, if I had a magic wand and I could get you 1,000 new patients a month, what does that do for your business? Basically, if I could do X, we're both in a position where we say that's, it doesn't matter if it's possible, you don't need to put excuses. This is just, if this would happen, what does that mean for you? You want a person to be able to, this is where they start justifying the sale to you. Basically, they say, oh, Cody, as a content marketing agency, if you could get me, an extra 10 clients a month, wow, that would freaking explode my business because every client's worth $3,000. So, if I could pay you $6,000 a month and make $30K a month, that would be awesome. Like, I would love that. That would be amazing. If I could get an extra 10 clients a month, that would be worth $30,000 to me. Now their head's in the right place. Boom. That's already like that. You say you're fishing, right? You just throw at the pole. You just put the little worm right in front of the fish's mouth. You put the hook in the mouth. You haven't pulled out. You haven't like ripped the hook into their lip. The hook's just dangling there, right where it needs to be. Number 5, make the other person justify the sale. The thing is, this is what I'm going to say to you. I'm selling you. And I say, does it even make sense for us to work together? Help me understand why you would pay for our services. You're thinking, Cody, that doesn't make no sense. Why would somebody sell me on the fact to work together? Well, if you've done your groundwork so far on this call, that's exactly what you're going to get to do. Especially with this magic question, right? Think back to the magic question. What you're trying to do is frame it in their mind that they're thinking about the upside. They're not worried about the fact that you said, if I had a magic wand, I could do whatever I want. They're thinking about the $30,000 a month that they just thought about. They're like, wow, we're just talking about it. Cody just said something about $30,000 a month, and now he's asking why we should work together. Well, the answer is because, Cody, we should work together because, I think my business is really solid. My customers really like what I'm doing, and the work that you do in content marketing for my industry, I think if we work together, we can really blow this thing up. You'll make some good money, I'll be a good client, and you'll really explode my business, and we'll grow together. And you just got somebody to tell you why they should hire you. You know what I mean? It's just the psychology of selling where it's like you always want to be in a position where you're literally making them cancel out all of the possible objections, right? The next question, you just made them justify the sale. Now make them justify the price, right? So say it's, like I said, it's me. I say, hey, it's going to be $6,000 this month. It's going to be $8,000 this month. It's going to be $15,000 every single month for you to pay some work with me. You're going to have to sign a 12-month deal. How does that even make sense? Why would it make sense for you to pay me $15,000 a month? You'd think, Cody, this is where you're just losing me here. This makes no sense. What are you talking about? You're going to tell them that it's really expensive, then you're going to try to make them justify the price to you? Yes, ma'am. Hear me out. If you make a prospect justify the price of your product successfully, you're going to have a great relationship, right? Sales isn't only about convincing somebody to do something. I think that's a huge misconception. I think sales has to be a part where this is the number one most important time in your entire business relationship with this prospect when it comes to building a rapport with that client, being able to build some trust, being able to understand their business, make sure that you're a right fit. It's not just you trying to get a sale every single time. You're trying to make sure that it's a good fit for you, your business, and their business. I'm not in the business of just asking somebody to do something they don't want to do, they're not comfortable with, they don't see the value in. Even if I had like magic powers where everyone would say yes to me, I would still go through this process, make sure that it's the right fit. I'd want to be able to say these certain things where it gives me more and more background knowledge on what they're actually concerned about. I want to hear objections. I want to know how they will be as a client based on this phone call. It'll tell me a ton of stuff about the relationship with this client moving forward. And I think that's a very important distinction in sales. But more than just that, making somebody justify the price specifically is a great sales tactic. The reason being is if you can get a person thinking about the price, right, in terms of ROI instead of just raw dollar amount, you're doing a really good job in your script. And you want them to portray that value of your service, right? Basically for me, I have something that I use, shout out to Ryan Stewart, called the ROI projection calculator. Basically for SEO agencies and content marketing agencies, for me, I know he made it specifically for SEO companies, but I adjusted it to me, a content marketing agency. He built a tool where you get some information from the clients based on their average order value, average price per lead, like basically how much is a new client worth, how much organic traffic are they currently getting. We do some research into what's the total amount of traffic we think we can improve that by, how many more leads we can get them. We run that through the ROI projection calculator. We give that to the client and show them, hey, look, you're here. You're going to spend X amount of dollars with us over the next year, but it's going to give you X amount of dollars that you spend with us plus this much in the next year. So basically, if you worked with us, you get zero. We'll call it a baseline of zero, where you're just going to make what you're currently making. But if you work with us minus the cost of us, you're going to make an extra X amount of dollars on top of there. So basically, we want those clients to start thinking in terms of that ROI, where it's like, well, based on the calculator, based on what we've seen you do, Cody, with your testimonials, your past client success stories, it looks like if I pay you $10,000 a month in my specific space, I should be able to see $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month in return on that investment, where it's like, yeah, you're right, Cody, I might be paying you $10,000 a month, but if I'm paying you $10,000 a month and you're getting me $30,000 a month, that's a win-win. That's a great W for my business. I'll look good for my owner. My bosses will love me. That's why I can justify the $10,000 price tag. You want your clients to start thinking that way as soon as you can into the conversation, but you're going to have some background knowledge, a little bit of groundwork laid, that type of stuff. Number 7, focus on one problem that we can solve. This is like my favorite little tip. Basically, you can go down the list, be like, yeah, well, my service solves this, and that. No one cares. They're just going to get bored. People want to solve one problem, right? That's it. It's great when you have like this all-in-one solution, but for me, be known for one thing. And that's not even what the point of this is. Basically, you want to ask a question like this. I'm going to list 4 things and you tell me which one is your biggest issue. And it all has to be like 4 different things that you help business owners with, or whatever your service is, right? Because this is pertaining to me selling an agency service. So it's not these questions are very specific to my business. They'd have to be adjusted for you, your service, your product, whatever it is. But for me, I'd say like this. I'm going to list 4 things and you tell me which one of these is the biggest issue for you for your website. Number 1, are you not getting enough website traffic? Number 2, are you not getting enough leads? Number 3, number 4, whatever. You can see, look at them. These are the number 3. This is number 4. You get the idea. Basically from there, you list these 4 items, right? Now you say, out of those 4, which one of these is your biggest issue? They say, oh, out of those, I'm not getting enough website traffic. I think that if I got more website traffic, it would lead to more leads, which would lead to more sales. So yeah, I think my biggest problem is not getting enough website traffic. Okay, and I say, now we want to laser focus on whatever they choose from this list. I can say something like this. So your biggest issue is that you don't get enough website traffic each month. If I told you that we could get you 40% more website traffic each month, like we did for insert other client, testimonial, customer success story, would that be worth the $3,000 a month? I've been using $3,000 in the script. Bear with me here. And I think that's a great way to put it, right? Where you had them try to justify the sale. You made an effort for them to justify the price. And now you're trying to justify your solution. You know what I mean? It's kind of breaking it down in multiple different ways where they're trying to come to a solution where it's like, by the end of the conversation, you asking them questions, they're going to exhaust themselves of any objections. And if they have certain objections that you just can't overcome, it's probably just not a right fit. And that's really important to understand. What else we got here? Okay. We'll go to number 8 now. Always agree with the complaints and get to their biggest problems. What does that mean, Cody? Ask questions like, when was the last time you spent this much money for my service? Have you ever paid for my service before? These questions will help you determine if the prospect has had a bad experience with someone else in the industry. A lot of people are going to say, yeah, well, to me, I'll give you an example, right? I was talking to a client the other day where I went to close the sale. I went to send my contract, and he said, hey, Cody, listen, I'm not signing any contracts. I've been burned by SEOs in the past. I just can't do it. Great. I did not do a good enough job. I skipped steps in my script. This guy seemed like he wanted to work together, and I skipped steps because I said, okay, time kills deals. Let's get the close. If he's ready to say yes, he's ready to say yes. But here's the problem with doing that sometimes. I didn't get to the point in my script where I can ask him something like this. And he could have told me then and there, look, I have paid this much money for an agency before, and I was burned by this, which is super, super big mistake for me. Because look, now what I want to do is this. I want to be able to ask these questions and understand truly, okay, do they not want to use my service or pay for my service because, number one, they don't believe in my results, which is something like they've either had a bad experience in the past with a different agency, they just can't fathom being able to see the ROI of it, or something like that. That's a very common reason. One of the reasons could be that they really just don't have the budget, where it's like, yeah, I could give you an ROI, but if you don't have the money to spend in the first place, whether or not I can make you money, you just don't have it. But basically, all these questions are going to be able to help me understand the three main issues that somebody can say no for. And people are going to give you 15, 30, 100 different excuses of what it is, but every single one of those questions boils down into what they actually mean. Basically, here's the deal. There's an objection, there's a bucket it falls into, and how to handle it. You see how there's like only 3 different things for what bucket it should fall into? Look at all these different objections, right? 20 plus objections. But realistically, they all boil down to a few actual problems. Number 1, they don't see the ROI. Number 2, I don't believe that the results promised are real. Number 3, a lack of understanding, being, okay, I don't know the problem, I don't know the solution. And then number 4, not believing the results or the ROI. So basically, all these things, look, these 2 things have the same issue, but they're different questions. Google search is too competitive. That's just, they don't believe the results. You don't know my industry enough, Cody. You don't believe the results. Basically, my goal right here, right, is to be able to boil down all their objections into 3 or 4 buckets and really understand the problem that they're actually having. Always agree with the complaints and get to the biggest problems. Right here, we're getting to their biggest problems. Number 9, be memorable, right? You don't want to just be like, hey, hello, my name's Cody. I can get you $5,000 a month of profit, more than you do right now. Is that great? Whatever. You guys need to have energy. You need to make there has to be something about you that stands out, right? Whatever it is. It could be your crazy memory. You could say, hey, do me a favor. Literally right in the middle of your script. This would work well. Say you're trying to land a client. Let's go back up to a point where we're at in the call, where I'm basically saying, I'm going to list 4 things. You tell me what's your biggest issue. Blah, blah, blah. And he says, not enough website traffic. And I say, so your biggest issue is that you don't get enough website traffic, right? If we told you, actually, you know what? 1 second. Do me a favor. And he says, what? I said, do me a favor. Okay. What's the favor? Open up your calendar. Right now? Yeah, open up your calendar. Okay. I'm open. Okay. I have my calendar open. Does it go back? Are you on Google Calendar? Can you go back however far you want? Yeah. All right. Do me a favor. Go to the year 1925. What? Just do it. Go to the year 1925. Cody, I don't have time for this. Just please bear with me. I said do me a favor. You said you'd do it. Just go to the year 1925. Okay. Pick any month. Okay, September. No. Pick it every month and don't tell me what month it is. Okay? Now pick any numbered day. Okay. What day is it? April 14th. All right. That was a Tuesday. What? It was a Tuesday. How'd you know that? I have an incredible memory. Ask me another one. Okay. And now they're getting interested. Now they're like, wow, that was pretty cool. Let's try to catch Cody off guard. What about 1916, October 4th? That was a Friday. Or, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean, that's just a stupid example, but basically, you're literally in the middle of a sales script. You told this guy to open up a calendar, and if you just have a really good memory and you can know what day of the week it was on a certain day in a certain month in a certain year, it's just something that's going to stand out where you're building rapport. By the end of the call, they're going to be like, they're going to remember you 2 days later. You're going to be like, they're going to be at dinner with their wife and they say, I was on the phone with this guy, Cody, right? He was selling me his content marketing services and he told me to go to a random day in 1925. And he can tell you exactly what day of the week it was if you say any day to him. And that's what I mean by being memorable. Doesn't have to be, something like that, where it's just like some party trick. Just whatever it is, that's just an example of what you can do. Be honest. This should be its own thing. It should be honest and straightforward, but this is just itself. Be honest. Like I said, we're not trying to convince people of anything. If you believe in your solution, your product, your service, and you're trying to find people to help sell that product to, it's because you think that they have a problem, you think you have a solution, and you think together that their business can be better for it. So there's no reason to lie about anything. I literally say, I'm calling to win your business today. You know what I mean? That's as straightforward as you're going to be. Hey, sir, this is Cody Marchand. I am calling to win your business today. I hope that's all right. Let me tell you why. Boom. So right away, he's not like, oh, this guy is calling to ask me how the weather is. This guy, I don't know why he's talked about content marketing for 10 minutes. Like, does he want me to buy something? He hasn't talked about it. I'm literally telling them, hey, if I'm successful right now, you will be buying something at the end of this phone call, and we'll start a partnership together. Number 11, be confident, sound excited, be interested, and be interesting. This means ask questions. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure that you are not the focus point. Make sure if you're talking less than they are. This is all stuff that you say, but look, you're trying to ask questions. Look, ask questions like this. You have a one-line question, you want a three-line answer. That's kind of how I think about sales. And here's a quick little script. This is a script I built for cold calling. It's kind of not my best script, but it's pretty cool because it'll get you, basically, here, do me a favor. In the comment section below, if you made this far, if you want my actual scripts, leave a comment below and I'll just send you the script. Because I'm not going to show you guys all the script. You can pause it right there, and if you wanted to copy it down. But basically, that's just one of the scripts, and I go over how to overcome certain objections that we get a lot. Now I'm talking about here's how to call from Upwork. Now things to remember before the call. Basically, from Upwork, it's a warmer lead because they already agreed we already know that they want our services because they posted a job about it. We already know that they like us specifically because they took the time to read our proposal, read our resume, and reach back out to us. And then, so there's a little bit different, but as you can see, there's a lot of similar stuff, like make other person justify the price. And here's a script. Boom, 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 boom. And then a list of common objections. I knew I had it somewhere, and I'm sorry that it took so long to go find it earlier in the video. But yeah, if you want my list of common objections too, I'll send them over. Let me know what you guys need. Let me know what you like. Basically, my goal for this video, was just to give you quick bullet points on sales, like an overview, right? And judging on the traction that this video gets, if you guys are interested, if you want more, I'll go into more detail. That was me, Cody Marchand, explaining sales. Thanks a lot for being here. Take care.